In today's video, we'll talk about some of the best picks for Season 30. These heroes were chosen based on the official data from the developers, original server and advanced server updates, and also feedback from former and current Immortal players. These heroes were grouped according to their primary roles officially listed in the game, not the lanes nor areas they are ideally played in, and are not sorted according to how good they are, since a lot of them are equally effective. And finally, we'll also share some recommendations for each hero that will certainly help you gain more wins. If you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like, share, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to be a better player on any lane and any role, we suggest watching the following videos. The links are in the description. Basha is currently one of the most relevant heroes now because of how a lot of healers have been improved. In addition to that, Basha is also capable of dealing sustained damage that can greatly benefit the team. He is also very flexible and can be played effectively as a roamer or a jungler. Kufra is a very versatile tank with the ability to decrease the effectiveness of heroes that rely on blink and dash skills thanks to his second skill. He has pretty much everything you need from an effective tank roamer. He has tremendous defense, multiple control effects such as slow, airborne, and displacement. His ultimate also works with flicker, which makes that a huge advantage against heroes that have excellent mobility. Edith is a very powerful tank carry capable of inflicting huge damage without buying a single damage item. She might be underwhelming from level 1 to 3, but once she reaches level 4, it will be fairly easy for her to start taking enemy heroes down. She is an excellent part of the team that can go toe-to-toe against most enemies and is equally useful in team fights thanks to her area of effect control skills. Brody is one of the marksmen that does not need so much help to thrive. Compared with most other marksmen, his basic attacks are much stronger even at level 1. The best part is, his second skill allows him to not just stun the target, but also reposition himself, making it easier to survive a gank attempt, and in some cases, can even give him the kill. Despite being pretty good in the early game, he still scales pretty well even in the late game. Bruno has been incredible. He is a marksman with tremendous critical damage output and is also capable of outplaying a lot of heroes easily thanks to his knockback effect, dashing ability, and stun effect. Not to mention that he is fairly easy to play since his attacks can lock onto his targets. Arethel is a marksman with very powerful damage output thanks to her ultimate. Not only does she deal tremendous damage using her ultimate, she also gains a temporary bonus movement speed, which is, in most situations, enough to kite and keep her away from melee attackers. Not to mention her second skill, which slows surrounding enemies, thus making it more challenging for them to chase her down. Fredrin is powerful because of his annoying second skill that has a very short cooldown, which knocks enemies airborne and allows him to also close the gap easily. In addition to having good mobility, his range for a melee hero is also very good thanks to his first skill and ultimate, which can both deal very high damage. Depending on how much crystal energy Fredrin has, his ultimate can deal as much as 3,000 to 4,000 damage, allowing him to one-shot most heroes. Martis is a solid choice since he has a good balance between mobility, crowd control, damage resistance, control immunity, and damage. He also has a very dynamic build path, allowing him to be effective in different playstyles and roles. Terizla is another solid choice because of his decent range and damage. He is also a fighter that does not need too many damage items. In fact, he is more effective when played with at least 4 to 5 defensive items. In our opinion, Bloodlust Axe is the only damage item you need for him to be effective. And of course, let's not forget his excellent crowd control ability. Kadita has been very useful, especially when teamed up with heroes that focus more on control effects. She is capable of deleting almost any hero in a single combo, and can even leave a lot of tanks clinging onto their lives with desperation. She is one of the best mages when it comes to team fights and can be an integral part of the clashes regardless if it's during the early game or the late game. In a meta where heroes with overpowered ultimates thrive, Valentina is a queen. Whether the enemy team has a powerful tank setter or a carrying healer, Valentina is there to copy their ultimates and take away what makes their heroes unique. Novaria is a ridiculous glass cannon with tremendous range and firepower. Her ultimate also is excellent in team fights because of its ability to reveal surrounding areas. As if it wasn't powerful enough, they also gave her ultimate tremendous range that allows her to not just cover a large area, but also reach enemies from a great distance. The control effect that Kaja's ultimate inflicts on enemies cannot be cleansed. This makes him a very formidable hero capable of stopping any hero from their tracks. His ultimate has also a longer range than Franco, which makes him a better choice in some situations. Angela complements most, if not all, hero types and can really turn the tides of battle as long as played by someone with good map awareness. Especially now that high sustained carry heroes are thriving, having Angela to aid them just makes it near impossible to defeat such heroes. Florin's ultimate is very unique since it makes her allies immune from life drain. This means items like Dominance Ice, Necklace of Durance, and Sea Halberd are not as effective against Florin's healing abilities. Joy is a very nimble, resilient, and agile assassin capable of running across the battlefield with ease while dealing damage on multiple enemies. To make matters worse, she even has crowd control immunity, which makes pinning her down pretty challenging for most heroes. Fanny is a surefire addition to this list. Let's all be honest, unless our team has any good picks against Fanny such as multiple stun locks or suppression, it will be a difficult match. Especially if the Fanny player knows what they're doing. In the hands of a new player, Fanny is close to useless, but in the hands of an experienced player and someone who is driven to win the game quickly, she is deadly. Her mobility is second to none, and is arguably one of the strongest, if not the strongest assassins during the early game. To make matters worse for her enemies, Fanny is also not too reliant on items, which means she can start killing enemies effectively as early as level 2. Lancelot is an assassin that heavily thrives on destroying enemies using his skills. He also has tremendous mobility that rivals a lot of high mobility heroes, and depending on the player even exceeds most dash and blink type heroes such as Arlott. There you go, those are the heroes that we think will leave a mark in Season 30. What do you think? If you were to replace some of the heroes here, who would it be, and who would you replace it with? Leave your thoughts on the comments section below, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, everyone. Peace.